Well, John, what's your initial takeaway from this duel?
Oh, shoot. There you go. You know, there's some competitive matches, and you look at 25, and you know, I like the effort of just, you know, he got taken down, escaped, and he picks up a takedown, and ends up tying that matchup 3-all going into the next period. And third period takedown was a big takedown, you know, and that's what we're looking for, you know. And Dayton Fix thought he wrestled well. You know, these guys came out shooting, especially at 25 and 33, and they were in on our legs from the start. And it was good to see us overcome it in those two matches. First two matches, Dayton did a nice job of countering his opponent for that first takedown. And, you know, you take a lot out of them when they're in that deep, and it looks like they're getting ready to get scored on. We're getting ready to get scored on, and all of a sudden you scramble to a takedown, and that kind of set the pace for him to run those points up, you know. But you know, Jason Burks, you know, thought he did a good job. You know, so at one point in that third period, it was 6-3, you know, and just got his head caught underneath. He needed to wrestle out of it. You know, the guy's going for the pin. You know, that's what he's supposed to do. You know, when you're wrestling, you know, a third team 25-pounder, second team 25-pounder. You know, so that might be a first in my career that I've had to, you know, pull a small guy like that up a couple weights and to fill a weight. You know, but that's kind of a little bit where we're at. Buddha did a, you know, workmanlike performance, you know, and a solid 6-2 to win. Wyatt just didn't seem himself out there. Whitlake came out, kind of did the same thing he did in Norman, just kind of pummeled through the guy, and I thought he did well. But Geers, you know, picked up a tech fall in Norman, but I thought it was a tough 11-point win, you know. And of course, AJ looked like he lost the tempo in the first period, was kind of going against him, and he recovered in the second with just a little bit more of an attitude after his escape, and then a solid takedown in the third with a hard right out, you know, over a minute, and built a riding time point after the takedown. So those are good things to see, you know. So there was a few things I didn't care for, you know. Again, Harris kind of diving in on a shot late in the third or late in the second period. I mean, you didn't need to shoot that shot. You don't have a stall call, you know. If you feel like you're getting pushed around a little bit, you know, just kind of know where you're at. You know, just seems like he's made some decisions that's cost him these last two matches with this heavyweight from Oklahoma.
Going back to Dayton real quick, he's now doubled his pins from 2 years ago. Is that a product of him being more aggressive, or just a product of his opponents so far this year?
Well, I think it's got to do with two things. One, you know, when you have that freedom over a year, you get to think about, you know, where you're at, what you're doing. You're not in a rush anymore, and I think that he's been able to develop some skills that beyond what he was doing. You know, I'm ready to see him, you know, compete against some of the top guys. I think he's going to need that. I think the Big 12 is going to help him a lot, you know. So, but solid effort at a time when, you know, we knew we needed to win those first two matches.
How significant is this next 2 weeks, considering the lingering injuries for some of the guys in the lineup, whether they started today or Dusty, if you hope he's back in 2 weeks?
Well, you know, I mean, the important thing is here we are with 2 weeks off, you know, so we got a chance to heal a few people up, you know, bring their attitude up. You know, a guy like Plott needs to refocus on his attitude and just kind of, you know, recognize that that you're getting beat in this particular match by just overthinking things and letting it just kind of wear and tear on you a little bit from a negative standpoint. So, young guy that just needs to get tougher. He's in a tough war right now, and if he's going to help his team, then just continue to recognize that you got good skills, but we got to be tough, and we got to be our composure has got to be there late in the periods, especially in the second, late in the second and the third. Your composure's got to be there, and so learn from this, be better, be motivated, because we're not seeing what we hope for, and that's okay. Now need to recognize that you got some time to really focus on getting better and preparing for the Big 12.
Thanks, John.
Hey, Coach. Going back to 197, Ferrari this season, he spent he's wrestled on his feet a lot this season, but this particular match, he showed an ability to ride. How much more reliable does that make him as a wrestler?
Well, it's just, when you're having your first year, you got to build confidence in things. And if you don't do it as a young wrestler, then don't expect to do it don't expect to do it in the heat of the moment, and in the heat of the moment after the takedown, it's a good choice to take it out of him, ride him. Don't give him a chance to tie the match up with an escape or anything. That's what you're thinking, You're not thinking, that I'm winning by 2 points. You're thinking that I need to maintain my power and my control right now. I'm building my riding time and to make it a 4-1 match, and I just felt like we saw him grow a little bit in that match. He lost the tempo of that match in the first period. And what I mean by the tempo was that guy was shooting a little bit more, nothing real threatening, but enough shots that we got hit with the stall call, and I liked what I saw as far as from a young wrestler building himself. He changed the momentum of that match, picked up a takedown in the third, and then went on to pick up a riding time point. So I think in that third period, I don't see the actual riding time, but in that third period, he rode over a minute, 15 minute and 20 seconds, after he took him down. So he didn't wait for the last takedown. He went and got it, early in the period rather than, taking it down. It's 1-1 or whatever the case is. He chose to separate the score early in the third period, which was mature, real mature.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Coach, you mentioned Jacason earlier. What kind of went into the decision for him to be the guy there at 141?
Well, I didn't tell him that until today. I had him in the back of my mind all week of who I was going to wrestle at 41. We were flip-flopping between Fix and Reese Woodcraft and of course Jacason. Reese is still on his way down. We're going to give him an opportunity to rank at 25. He deserves one. He's wrestled 33-4s all year, while Fix was, or most of the year, while Fix was serving his time till serving his time. I probably shouldn't say that, but filling the requirements of the full year that ended in February. And I just felt like, you know what? Let's give this kid a chance to go out and we'll give him a strategy to keep him in the match. And that's what we did. It was 6-3 in the third period, which to me was, he had done what we were looking for. Got caught over the top and he needed to wrestle out of it. He would have been fine. I don't think he was prepared for what happened there. But good effort. And I think it was important that our team saw that he kept himself in position to not give up bonus points until till Demas hit the move to threw him to his back.
You mentioned the possibility of Dayton going up there with him staying at 133. How important was it that he got a pin, knowing that at 141 OU could have got the pin?
Say that again.
How important was it that Dayton was able to get a pin, knowing that if you're sending Jacason out at 141, there's a chance that he would get pinned?
Yeah, I think the key was winning the first match, and you knew what Dayton was capable of doing in this match, so, you're preparing. For me, I wanted to finish after the 141 match, winning by 3, the score wise. That was the focus, so, Dayton was prepared to go out if he needed to. Reese had wrestled that kid in Norman and had a nice win against him. But I chose to keep Dayton where he was and pick up bonus points with that first win.
Appreciate it.
How significant is it to see Dakota getting these bonus points for you guys in all these duels, and obviously a few in the challenge last weekend?
Yeah, just it's good. I mean, you pick up a bonus. Last time he wrestled him, kid came out prepared to wrestle a little tougher than what he showed in Norman, and it was nice to see Dakota continue to build his points up to separate the score. Always recognizing that you want to put yourself in a position where if something crazy happens in the next 2 weights, your team's still in good shape to win. That's teamwork, and that major decision was an important major decision. If we felt like we were in full control, we probably would have had him cut him and maybe pick up a few more takedowns and maybe stretch that score out. Possibly to tech fall, but we just felt like the one bonus point, the major decision was good enough where we were at the time.
How important is it to see Travis, even though he's not going up against ranked guys, I guess to try to just not wrestle down to his competition? I mean, he's taking care of a lot of these guys and getting you some bonus points as well.
Yeah, I think that's a match where he can go back and kind of evaluate some things that he can do better against better competition. Kind of struggling with his going around and when he snaps them down. But I mean, for you to score, 25 points, 26 points, end up scoring 26 points. It takes a lot of energy and effort, and you got to be ready to do that, and I thought he did a good job, and keep in mind that he got taken down first, and that's even better, that he came back and picked up an escape and started building his lead. He knew what we needed out of him, and he put the effort and energy in to go and get it, and that's real important to see. Bonus points are big in tournaments as we are going into postseason. Bonus points are important. It makes a difference in winning championships and taking home trophies.
Aside from getting healthy and trying to maintain weight, what do you do to utilize these next 2 weeks before postseason?
Well, I think continue with the plan that we've had, and we kind of went into it this week. It's we got a lot of different individuals at different places right now, and so with that we're kind of geared towards individual performance and what they need rather than so much team, so when I watch this team today, I'm going, we are better than that and we can get better. I don't believe we had a poor dual meet, but I see so much more right now out of this team, and hopefully we can prepare them to do that for the Big 12.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Coach, you went undefeated in dual season, but what were the challenges to get to that point?
I tell you, I mean, um, uh, it's a different year, and I would have liked to had wrestled a team like Penn State or Iowa or even Missouri in a dual meet, um, and let my guys feel maybe where they're at, where their team is, and where we need to be. But I'll just say this that it takes teamwork to win dual meets, and we take pride in it, and it's important to us. Undefeated dual meet season is a accomplishment, but kind of keep in mind that um, let's use it as a motivation as we go into the Big 12. This team will have to wrestle better than they probably have wrestled the last 2 weekends to win the Big 12. So, we likely might not even go in favored. I'm not sure where it's all going to kind of lay out, but I know this, that we'll have to wrestle better, and this team will have to wrestle better for us to win the Big 12. And we have every intentions of doing that. I think every individual has every intentions of doing that.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. So I think that just in closing, just the benefit of our season is that we ran through every weekend, which most teams didn't. From the start of the season when we wrestled our first dual meet, we didn't miss a week. We got competition in every week, and maybe it shows a little bit, like we're drained a little bit. Long weeks with one day. The training's a little bit different. I think to me we look a little bit tired, but I'm okay with that. The grind of that needs to pay off for us, and that's really the message I'm going to give our team, is that we grinded through. There's not many teams out there that didn't miss a couple weeks and didn't. We got to go. I believe it was 8 straight weeks or 7. What was it? 8 straight weeks of being able to compete, and let's take advantage of that grind that has been put on us by doing that. So appreciate the medical staff for putting us in a good position to be able to do that. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Dakota, how did it feel to get a Bedlam win on senior night?
It feels good. I mean, obviously, Bedlam always means more. Coach always preaches that, but it means a lot more whenever you get to do it on senior night too. It's just a special match.
How do you feel that you stacked up against this guy this time compared to down in Norman? It seemed like while you didn't get as big of a points as you did down there, you also didn't give up any points.
Yeah, I feel like coming off that Cowboy Challenge tournament and losing that match, I feel like I wrestled a little sloppy. So going into postseason, you kind of put that all behind you, but you start trying to wrestle smarter and pick your attacks and offense more careful. So that's what I was working on there, and just not really going after him, just kind of blindly kind of picking my shots and being strategic about it.
John just mentioned the fact that he felt that this team's better than what you guys showed today, individually or as a team as a whole. I mean, do you see that? Do you agree that you guys maybe left some out there?
Yeah, I think we're definitely better. I mean, like he was saying though, I mean, we've gone through 8 straight weeks of training, and I mean, it can wear you down a little bit. So going into this 2 weeks of training before Big 12s, I think how he said he's going to kind of individualize the practices and make it driven towards each wrestler. I think that'll definitely help and kind of get us out of looking a little tired, but so.
Yeah. What'd you think of AJ's response from his first loss last weekend, coming away with another Bedlam victory?
He handled it good. I mean, just like how you think he would. He took it, he learned from it, and came back and wrestled that kid better than he did last time. I mean, he beat him by more points, and looked like he handled him better too. He got it right. He rode him out for a minute and a half in the third, so I think he definitely put it on him.
Thanks, Dakota.
Yep.
Hey, Dakota, just a quick question. Going off, you have a couple weeks of rest now. What are some things that you're looking to improve at individually to just get yourself ahead going into the Big 12 tournament?
I think mainly for me, it's going to be just selecting my attacks and being more careful with how I'm going at the guy. I think I've lost some points in previous matches just because I've been shooting so much. So I think mainly for me, it's just going to be not careful, but kind of more selective of what I'm using in neutral and not give up so many takedowns, just wrestling sloppy.
Thanks, Dakota.
Yep.
Dakota, what was it like for you seeing Jacason go out at 141?
That's tough. He, I was actually sitting in the locker room before we weighed in, and I was sitting beside Coach, and I heard him call him up, and Jacason came in and checked his weight and weighed it was 135 or something. He had just gotten done eating too, so he's a little undersized for the match, but I think he wrestled the majority of that match smart. I mean, he didn't give up. I think it was 6'3" whenever, or maybe 8'4", 6'3", whenever he gave up that cow catcher. But I mean, other than that, he wrestled that match, I think, as well as he could have.
Demas is probably their best guy. Was that kind of, I don't know if motivational is the right word, but did that kind of hype you guys up to see that he was, still alive in the third period?
Oh yeah, I was excited. I mean, he was going at him too. I mean, he was firing shots at him. He looked like he was in the match, and I think if he would have went out there like that from the get-go, I think that could have even been a closer match. It looked like he was kind of building confidence as it went on.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Dakota, how odd has this season been when you're just wrestling on the weekends and training so much during the week, and does that wear on you guys?
I think it can a little bit, but I think it's just a longer stretch of practices than what anybody's really used to, because usually we're wrestling on Thursdays and then again on the weekend, so it's not just a hard training week the whole way through. And I think, especially with this match, we trained the whole way through the week, just as if we would have if there wasn't a match. So I think maybe that could have been why we maybe looked a little tired. But I also think I know Coach knows what he's doing for the postseason. I mean, he's getting us ready for what really matters, and I think it all will pay off.
How much of it is a mental fatigue compared to a physical fatigue?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, actually, probably the majority of it's mental, just because, I mean, you're not used to going through those weeks training like that. And later in the year, he'll start bringing us in late at night and having another practice. So that also can mentally wear you out. But I mean, it's good. It's good to get it in now and get you mentally ready for the postseason.
I guess real quick, how tough was it though? Again, senior day, you guys recognizing all the seniors and whatnot, but for someone like Cade and even Dusty to not get that opportunity to wrestle on their senior night.
Yeah, I mean, as much as those guys put into wrestling here for 5 years like they did, I think, I mean, you feel bad for them. You just wish that they could have gotten to compete, but I think they both left their legacy, and they've inspired me. I mean, Dusty and Cade are some of the toughest guys that I know, so it's been fun looking up to them and getting to be their teammate.
Appreciate it, Dakota.
Yep.
Have you thought about that extra year of eligibility? Do you know what you're going to do going forward? Have you not really been thinking about that?
I have been thinking about it. I'm not sure. So, well, I talked to Coach about it too, and we'll see. It's up in the air right now.
Got it. Thanks.
What's that?
I just said thanks.
Oh, yep, no problem.
All right. Any other questions for Dakota? All right, thanks.
Yep. Thanks, Dakota.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Reed.
All right, so I told Jason earlier that we're probably not going to have a media availability this week, but we'll jump back on next week, probably Wednesday of next week.
Okay. Of next week.
Right before the Big 12s.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Reed.